Um, for an actress that has just seemed to be a supporting character, I feel like with this TV show Ahsoka, and I'm talking about Rosario Dawson. I feel like finally she gets the opportunity deserves to be a alpha main character role, and she actually did a pretty good job with this role in Ahsoka.
I agree with you. What up? What up? Let's get into it. I mean, this is one of the hardest. I think one of the best Star Wars shows out there right now so far.
Right.
So let's get into it.
So, quick recap, because Rosario Dawson has been in quite a few TV shows and movies.
Correct.
The ones that I remember the most are obviously the Netflix series TV shows, the Marvel TV shows with Luke Cage, Iron
Daredevil,
Fist, Daredevil, and you had
Jessica
Jessica
Jones.
Jones, and obviously the Defenders too. With Punisher, she was in the Punisher. Nah, she wasn't in the
No,
Punisher.
she wasn't a Punisher.
Right. So she definitely was probably the main character that held everything together with those TV shows. And then when those TV shows end up leaving, end up not continue on with the series, she ended up on the Disney Plus shows where she had an episode in Mandalorian season 1, and then was she in Boba Fett?
Yes, correct. She was in Boba Fett.
Okay, so she was in Boba Fett. So from Marvel now on to the Star Wars series, Rosario Dawson is definitely doing her thing. Now, Ahsoka. Now, the average Star Wars fan that's only been sitting down and watching movies. I'm not even going to put the TV show in there, to be honest with you, because I think it's like over 300 episodes of Clone Wars and like another 200 something of the Rebels.
Yeah, you got Rebels, Clone Wars, and you got this little side stories. But in the comics too, we're not gonna get all into that, mess. So
let's not get too deep with it, because we don't want to be thrown off only 2 minutes into this pod. But thank God I'm here, because
we're gonna keep the main plot lines. Basically, we're gonna keep what's important.
We're gonna keep it main plot, because it's a lot of stuff to digest. So,
You're right about that.
The TV show. Let's go ahead and start this thing off with the timeline. Where are we at right now in the Star Wars universe as far as this Ahsoka TV show?
So Ahsoka takes place a few years after Episode 6, and it takes place during Season 3 of Mandalorian.
All right, so in the regular terms, Episode 6, that is that's Return of the Jedi.
Correct. Return of the Jedi.
Okay, so Return of the Jedi, for you average Joes, that was the last old movie where Luke Skywalker defeats the Empire, the Emperor, and Darth Vader. Correct?
Correct. The fall of the Empire.
All right, perfect. So regulars that actually went to Blockbuster back in the day to.
Oh no, sorry. Hold on, I gotta recorrect that. That's New Hope. I'm sorry. No, hold on. That's Episode 4. I'm sorry.
New Hope is episode 4.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. Sorry.
Return of the Jedi is 5, and no, Empire Strikes Back is 5.
5.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm getting confused because this is a lot to remember. But I'm sorry. Continue. You're right. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I know those movies.
Hey, at least one of us remembers it right now at the top of our heads right now. It's a lot going on.
I know those movies. Like, for the longest time, quick backstory. When I first started watching Star Wars, we went to Blockbuster, and Return of the Jedi what's the sixth movie called again?
Return of the Jedi. Episode 4 was New Hope.
Thank you. You got me all. You got me messed up already.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we were on the right track. But I'm confusing episode 4 for 6. I don't know why I did that, but I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Trying to get my facts straight. I'm doubting myself. I'm sorry. My bad. Correct. Go ahead. You were right.
so New Hope and Empire Strikes Back were the only two movies. These are VHSs back in the day. This is back in the 90s. When we did Blockbuster, we only could rent that bitch for a week.
Quick question, not to get sidetracked. When was the first time you watched Star Wars? The first time do you remember watching a Star Wars movie?
It was this story when I go to Blockbuster. My mom took me to Blockbuster, and I wasn't even looking to get Star Wars. She was just introducing me to Star Wars, and that's
So
what we ended
your
up.
mom was into Star Wars.
I wouldn't. She ain't like the figurine type, but like I'm like me. I'm like I dabble. Okay, I dabble. Like I have interests in multiple different things, but I don't like get deep into it where it's like I read the comic books. I just watch what's on. I'm a movie person, okay? This is really
Okay,
like
I
that. I'm
feel
a
you.
movie
I'm just
person, so
asking.
you can't really. I can't. I'm not really a comic book person. I'm just a movie person, so I just watch whatever it is. If it's interesting, I'll watch it. So yeah, those two movies, New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, were the two. I watched those two movies when we went to Blockbuster for the first time. So I didn't get a chance to watch Return of the Jedi until like maybe 5 or 6 years later.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay, I feel you.
It
So
had to come
I didn't
on.
start like you did though. I didn't watch Star Wars until 2007. I believe I was 17. I watched episode 1 and then 2 and then 3 back to back, and I'm sitting here like, what the hell is this?
So 2007. So I think 3 came out. It came out right before I went to high school. So it had to been like 2005. Was it
Mm-hmm.
2005?
I
Fact
was
check
late. I
that.
was late to the Star Wars train.
Fact check that.
I was skipping one day. I'm gonna make it short. I was skipping one day, and then one of my friends said, "What do you know about Star Wars?" I was like, "What the hell is Star Wars?" They were like, "Well, you missing out. Let's watch it from the beginning." He told me that episode 4, 5, and 6 was the first trilogy, but they just released 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, why would I watch episode 4, 5, and 6 first if episode 1, 2, and 3 is out? He said, "Well, we could do that." I watched it in reverse. I watched it, I guess in reverse, you want to say. So I wasn't a big fan of it. Not until, I ain't gonna lie to you, something about the original movie, episode 4, hits different. Yes, it was ahead of its time. The CGI wasn't there and the graphics wasn't all the way there. It was cheesy, but I liked it.
It was my least favorite.
It got me into the storyline, so I kind of understood it a little bit better, even though watching the first trilogy. I did like it.
You watched the new ones, the 2000 ones before
Yeah,
you
correct.
watched the old. When did the old ones come out? In the 80s?
No, the 70s.
Excuse me,
Late
the
70s.
70s. Anything before the 90s is all 80s to me. But
No, I believe it was 1977.
hold on, we gotta use our resources for the
Hold up.
youth.
I
Come
got to
on, youth.
remember this.
You. Back in the day, we couldn't go on our phone or the computer to do a fact check. We had to wait till we got
I
home.
was right. May 25th, 19th. I didn't know the date exactly, but I was right on the year, 1977. May 25th, 1977, the day after my birthday. Wow. During the
1977.
70s.
Okay, 1977.
Jesus.
Got it.
Okay, cool. My bad. Go ahead. I just wanted to let people know that when I watch Star Wars, I started different than most
Also,
people.
episode 3 came out in 2005. So I was about to go into high school at the time. So damn, you literally waited for episode 3 to come out to watch the first 6 episodes of Star Wars.
Yeah, and it was accidental. I didn't plan to watch this. A friend of mine, I was skipping school. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a bad kid, but um sidetrack. I happened to skip school, and a friend of mine was like, "What do you know about Star Wars?" I'm like, "What the hell is Star Wars?" Like I said, I watched episode 1 all the way to 6, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I sat there and I was like, the first 3 was okay. I was like, okay, I dig it a little bit because it had a little bit of samurai culture in it. But for some reason, like I said, and I go back to it and I stand on the statement 100%. Something about episode 4, 5, and 6, the old school movies, just hit differently, though. I don't know what it is, but it just hits differently. And it really got my attention. And I'm like, it made me go back and rewatch the movies and was like, okay, this world is bigger than I can imagine. This is how I got stuck on it. So thank God I went back and rewatched it. Thank God for my friend. But like, I mean, it's amazing. Like, I mean, I would have never got into it. I would have never known what Star Wars was if it wasn't for this particular friend.
It's I was more into the original trilogy. Like, I watched 4, 5, and 6 first, and then when Star Wars, I remember going to see it in the movies. I saw the episode 1 in the movies. I saw episode 1 in the movies, and I saw episode 3 in the movies. I was so excited to see 3 because, like, they trailered the hell out of that Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker fight scene.
Best fight scene of all time.
Yes, that was all over the freaking TV. Like, I could not wait. We was talking about it in school. Like, all the Star Wars fans, like, yo, you about to go see episode 3? Hell yeah, we about to go see episode 3. I think that was the first time I ever went to the movies without my parents or my mom. It was the first time I ever went without my mom to go see episode 3. She dropped my ass off in front of the Regal, and we went up in that joint. We was watching that joint. So in the episode 1 poster, when it came out, it had like little Anakin. It had little Anakin, and it had Darth Vader shadow jump. So then that's when I really got like really interested into it. I'm like, hold up. Anakin is Darth Vader? Okay. I fuck with this. So that's how I ended up getting into Star Wars, because like just being able to see, like, because this, you had never seen nothing like this before, where they released it ain't the last, well, at the time it's the last 3 movies. They released the last 3 movies, and then you turn around and you go backwards and you watch the first 3 movies. So there's like there's a little curiosity there when you do it, and then that's when I really got like really interested. And then obviously when I saw episode 1 and I saw Darth Maul with the double jump, I was like, I like this. Like, I live to watch the lightsaber fights. That's for real. That's really what I'd be looking for at the beginning. But then the politics stuff, I try to overlook that and try to, put 2 and 2 together, because it can get a little bit confusing to the regular degulas like me. But definitely the action sequences, the life lessons the Jedi do teach you: patience, peace.
I feel you.
Protect the innocent, aggression.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm just an average, regular, degular Star Wars fan. Yeah, we got our Star Wars attire. I had to dig this out the dirty clothes. Hell
yeah. Hey, just got this jump right here, yo, baby Grogu.
But let's go ahead and get into Ahsoka.
All right.
So we already established the fact timeline is after episode 6. That's Return of the Jedi. Luke defeats the Empire, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. So real quick, give us a little bit of a backstory of Ahsoka. Like, where does she fit into this whole Star Wars universe?
Ahsoka is a Padawan from Anakin Skywalker. For those who don't know who Anakin is, he ends up becoming Darth Vader. So, hence Luke Skywalker's biological father. She ends up renouncing the Jedi Order before episode 3. Well, during episode 3, and ends up finding her way. She befriends a few friends on her journey during a civil war between the Mandalorians and the Rebellion, which was a bunch of different groups together, but one that was leading the rebellion was Darth Maul. And this time period, she was trying to defend the innocent, and hence why she wasn't in episode 3. And now she at this point they end up beating Grand Emperor Thrawn, and they exiled him. She lost a friend. So now we are where we are in the beginning of episode 1 in Ahsoka.
Okay, cool. Because as a regular degular, I have to. It had to take from. I probably would say episode 4 or 5 when um when Hera was in front of the council and Leia brought C-3PO, well, told C-3PO to deliver a message. That's how I was able to figure out where the timeline was for this TV show. But all right, let's get into this plot, right? So in season 1 of Ahsoka, she is trying to prevent the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn to, I guess, resurrect the Empire. So my question to you is, at the beginning of this TV show, she has a map. She's having a hard time opening up this map to find the coordinates of Grand Admiral Thrawn. And this Ezra character at the time, I have no idea who this person is at the time. So how did Grand Admiral Thrawn end up getting stranded on this planet with Ezra?
During one of the battles with Ahsoka and her friends, Bo-Katan, Hera, Ezra ended up sacrificing himself at the end of Rebels and was able to transport Thrawn and his crew through the powers of the space whales and to exile Thrawn so he won't be able to commit genocide throughout the galaxy on behalf of the name of the Empire.
Okay. So they're stranded out on this planet. Ahsoka's the only one with the coordinates to it. She goes to a planet to seek help from Sabine to help her unlock the map so she can get the coordinates of where General Thrawn is. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, break down the relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine.
So during the time of Rebels, Ahsoka trained Sabine as her own Padawan in the ways of the Jedi and in the ways of the Force. They did not finish their training. I would say it was about a half. She trained her halfway, but she didn't finish the second half of her training, which causes the relationship because within the time of Rebels, after they get anointed heroes, they depart and go their separate ways, and years have passed. So they're not on speaking terms.
Okay. So I'm looking at Sabine throughout this TV show, and she's got like Mandalorian armor, so she's part Mandalorian.
Yes, she comes from the planet Mandalore. She's a Mandalorian.
Okay, and during the Clone Wars, her family got killed by the Empire.
Correct.
Okay, cool. That was actually extremely interesting when you sit down and you. I'm pretty sure Sabine has a pretty interesting life, considering the fact she's a Jedi and a Mandalorian at the same time. That's dope. I like that. Even though during the TV show she took a little bit too many laser hits, like I ain't seen enough, lightsaber blocks. What do you call that? Parries, blocks. What do you call it? Yeah,
parries. But
okay.
She's not a full-fledged Jedi because she hasn't mastered her training. She's a Mandalorian that is force sensitive, like they call people who have the ability to understand or wield the Force or be able to sense the Force.
Okay. So she's
Hence
not.
why Ahsoka trained her.
Okay, so she trained her. So she has never really became an actual Jedi, Sabine.
No, correct. Yeah, she's not a full-fledged Jedi. Same thing with Ezra. He ends up becoming a Jedi at the end of Rebels, but it's because his master anointed him as a Jedi.
I will say in this TV show when we did see Ezra, I thought Ezra was probably my favorite character. I'm a fan of the the sea blue eyes like that, but just the way he like when he was like, here, keep the lightsaber, and he's just literally doing his thing with just the force. I was just like, yo, this dude is probably bad with a lightsaber. And then like I was a little disappointed when he finally did pick up the lightsaber, but like at the same time, I'm like, all right, cool. I can get behind Ezra, but like Ezra, this character just seemed to be beloved by Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hera. Like, what is their relationship like? Because like it just seems like they're just like one big old happy family. Because she over here hugging everybody.
To be honest with you, I feel like they're one big happy family, but I also feel like Sabine and Ezra have a thing for each other. Like I feel like they like it's an on and off relationship. Like they want to be boyfriend, they want to be girlfriend. Maybe just me, or just one really big happy family. But somewhere down the line, like to be honest with you, to symbolize it, they have a close relationship, a really strong, close relationship with each other.
So it's this potential of them being lovers.
I believe so. I mean, that's how I see it, but maybe it's just me.
Okay, cool.
They're a little too close for me. That's to me that doesn't seem like they're just family.
I was gonna say like she didn't. I like when I was sitting down and I was watching them sit in the carriage and they was riding to, I guess Turtle Village, or what are those things called?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, these
names
are hard to remember every little thing.
Alien turtles. This is called alien turtles. But when they was riding in the carriage together, and when Thrawn sent Sabine to go find Ezra, and he said, "We're going to leave." Okay, cool. I'm just like, Sabine, like you're just literally just sitting in the carriage, you're enjoying yourself with Ezra. Do you have at least a little bit of sense of urgency where it's a possibility you may be stranded on this island for the rest of your life? And you like literally just sitting there, just relaxing like you're on vacation in Miami or something. Like, come on now, let's get this show on the road. Like, you got to get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, because she just met Thrawn before she even went to go find Ezra. So it's a possibility you could die, like, or you were followed, so you guys can be murked. So I don't know. Like I feel like it was too good to be true. Like I mean, you guys are a little too chill to be happy. Like once, like, well, how did you get here? I'll tell you later, but let's spend time to each other. Okay, so Ezra's kind of like, I'll let it go. But then Ezra's like, so how are we gonna get home? And she's like avoiding the question. I don't really know. So how did you find me? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. And then she told him how she found him, and he was like, so wait, you met Thrawn? And nobody's coming after us? I don't know. Right. It was too good to be true is all I'm trying to say. Like I get it. You haven't seen your friend in years. You want to spend the time with them, catch up and make up with lost time, but I don't think that's the right time to do it. But whatever.
We're gonna go ahead and put that on the writing here. Now, I do want to back this thing up with I wanted to get into what's the character that I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into Baylan Skoll. He's supposed to be the main mercenary in this show.
Correct.
And his apprentice Hati, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, considering the fact that Sabine is a Jedi in training, I don't know if there's any backstory on Hati, but I feel like Hati should have dogged Sabine both times, if we're being honest.
I agree with you on that. I just felt she was toying with her. I felt like she was toying with Sabine. I think she knew she could beat Sabine. But Skoll, he is a former Jedi who had renounced the Jedi Order and became a Sith Lord. And then became a mercenary after he I guess he didn't like the dark side of the Force and went his own way. That's how I perceived it. It's not implied that he went to the dark side of the Force, but you could tell he is wielding a red saber.
He seemed a little bit uninterested throughout the TV show of the intentions of the darks of the Empire, to be honest with you. He's just like, I have an honor code and I'm going to stick by it. and anything outside of that, I'm not doing. Like, I feel like he's like the most, I guess the least ruthless Sith Lord that I've probably observed throughout the Star Wars, the Star Wars movies and TV shows that I've watched.
I agree with you, but I saw him more. I mean, he was on both sides of the force, the good side and the dark side, but I also saw him more like a conspiracy theorist. Like, he had a lot of teachings from the Jedi Order, but he wanted to dabble in the dark side of the force, like Anakin.
Right.
And he also knew that Ahsoka was the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, so hence he knew that Anakin was Vader. He never blatantly said it, but I think he put one and together and was like, "Oh, you're Vader's Padawan, so you must be a force to be reckoned with." But also, I felt too, he was like, there was a side mission he wanted to do. He wanted to get to that planet. He wanted to find that planet for some reason and find some secret mysteries, like some lost, like books or information that has been lost for years, millennia. I felt that's what it was. It wasn't just there to serve a purpose. He wasn't just there to be a character. He was there to seek something else that was more important than Ahsoka. It just happened to be that their fates aligned that day. Is all I'm saying.
And I'm looking at the apprentice Hati. I tell you, somebody that can make some ugly ass faces, bruh. Like, she made some ugly faces throughout this TV show. Like she literally looks creepy. And I'm looking at Balin like,
that's your apprentice?
That's your apprentice? Like, that's what you trained?
We chose? I mean, come on. The Jedis are extinct. I mean, not many people who are born that are force sensitive or being trained nowadays, so I guess you got to deal with the best you got with, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I guess, but hey, if that's what we rolling with. I guess that's what we rolling with.
I mean, she did serve her master, though. I mean, she did everything her master asked. I mean, so she was loyal.
She didn't talk very much.
But she didn't question him very much either.
Did she talk? Did she talk at all?
Yeah, she had speaking lines. Remember when they found the map and then
yeah, she did.
She questioned her master, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
He said there's a bigger what did he say? Journey ahead of us. Well, not for you, but for me. This is where my journey splits off with yours. And then he tells her, go serve Thrawn if you like. I'm gonna do me. And then he rides off into the planet.
Right. That's right. I remember. I was like, damn, that was kind of savage. You're just gonna leave your Padawan like that? Because she had like she one thing about Skull. I said his name wrong, didn't I? Skull. My bad. Balin
Skull.
But yeah, one thing about Balin, like, he kind of did like honor the Jedi a little bit, because you saw Hati have like the little Padawan twisty jump. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. You talk the braids. Yeah.
Yeah, she had the braid. So like, I'm just like, she can't really be a Sith, because I've never seen any Sith apprentices have that.
I correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel she was one of the children from Order 66 that survived.
Oh, okay.
Hence why she has the braid.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Order 66 was Palpatine implementing a protocol in the clones to kill off all Jedi.
Correct.
All right, for the regular degulars.
Genocide that was also ran and led by Anakin Skywalker.
Yes. So yeah, for the regular degulars that don't know. But yeah.
Savage.
So where are we with this? I think the last person that I probably need some clarification on is probably Morgan. She's like because she was the one that Ahsoka captured at the beginning in the intro, and then she was being held on that ship, and that's when Balin and Hati was the one that infiltrated the ship and was able to release her, and that's when they got on the path of trying to find Thrawn. So what is the significance with Morgan?
So Morgan is a Night Sister. She comes from another planet of witches who also use the dark side of the Force. They're known for bringing back Force wielders. They also help revive the Darth Maul side story, which is also important during the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So Morgan, I don't know if you remember season 1, Mandalorian. Mando was hired to kill Morgan. Well, bandits, which was also protected by the witch Morgan, which we get introduced to Ahsoka, who was also protecting that planet. So we had a fight between Morgan and Ahsoka in the beginning of the Mandalorian season 1. She had the Beskar. Remember, she had the Beskar staff.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
best fighting scenes in that
Yeah,
show.
I remember. Yeah, I remember now. Okay. That's how she ended up being captured.
That's how she ended up being
After
captured.
that episode, this is where Ahsoka picks up at after she gets captured by Ahsoka. And I follow. Okay.
So she captured. So Mando and Ahsoka work together to destroy these bandits and this planet, which I can't remember the name. They have a fight. They have a weapons fight. Beskar versus lightsaber. First time you see Ahsoka in a long time, live action. First time ever. Dave Filoni, you're a fucking monster. You're a beast. Thank you for this. But he captures her. As we know, Mando ends up giving Grogu to Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker ends up becoming friends with Ahsoka. So it takes place after season 2 of Mandalorian. Because remember, Mando gave up Grogu so he can train the ways of the Force. Luke just started his Jedi Academy. Ahsoka goes off on her own mission. Hence, Morgan comes back, escapes, finds the map. She is a big, firm believer of Thrawn. Wants to bring the Empire back. Finds the map. Destroys the map. And then finds where Thrawn is. Where is Azra is also being held as well. Sabine and Ahsoka work together to find where Thrawn is being held so they can stop him from ruling the galaxy on the behalf of the Emperor.
Okay.
And then we are here now.
Now this is starting to make sense now. Because I'm just like, this Morgan thing at the beginning, like I get like we have like, they put things in movies for a reason, TV shows and movies, but this makes sense now because I remember in Mandalorian season 1 that he actually went to this village with her and he needed her help to fight. They had Grogu in that episode, didn't they?
What are we talking about? Mando? Or are we talking about?
Yeah, in Mandalorian, because he needed to infiltrate that village. Why did he need to infiltrate that village? I can't remember.
Because he was searching for Morgan.
Right.
His bounty was on Morgan.
Okay.
But remember, the town's hero was Ahsoka. But she didn't want to save these people. She just happened to be there. She renounced being a Jedi. She didn't want people to know she was a Jedi. Remember, this was during the times the Jedis were being massacred. It was Darth Vader was looking for Jedis or having the Inquisitors looking for the Jedis and eliminating the Jedis, which was a genocide at that time. So if you were a Jedi, you were giving up a lot. You were being tracked because Force wielders can sense other Force wielders because they are trained in the ways of the Force.
Right.
So she was giving up a lot by using her Force, which they end up becoming friends.
Right. Okay. So for the regular Deglas, in translation, the Jedis that were using the Force can be sensed by the Sith Lords, and they were being
the Grand Inquisitors, but I mean, same wielders that use the Force that were also good.
You can feel others that use the Force, and they was literally killing other people, killing the Jedis, because that's That's what Order 66. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
Palpatine was against Jedi's. So anybody who was Force sensitive was considered a Jedi at the time, even if they weren't trained or taught or in the teachings of the Jedi. Hence why they were all hiding. Hence why Obi-Wan was in Tatooine in the first place. Why he was just a meat cutter.
All right, so this is my next question, because we just got finished talking about the relationship between Ahsoka, Hera, Sabine, and Ezra. But now I wanna put the microscope on Hera real quick, because Hera has a child, right? In this TV show, his name is Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jason, after this fight between Ahsoka and Baylan Skoll, he's able to sense Ahsoka in the water by hearing, like, using the Force, I'm assuming. So my thing is, for those that don't know, a Jedi cannot have kids. And Hera, she ended up being married to, was she married to this person? Wasn't Jarrus? Was she married to Jarrus?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched this show. I want to say no, but I might be wrong on that.
Okay, so she had a baby with a Jedi, which that's forbidden. So I'm starting to. So I'm gonna have to look into other Jedi's that had babies that's forbidden too moving forward. So so is there supposed to be some kind of significance with Jason? Yeah, Anakin. Yeah, but is there's like some significance with Jason moving forward in the Star Wars universe?
If they put him in the show, it's because they want to use him later in the future, I believe. I mean, they didn't just throw him in there. I personally believe they didn't just throw him in there for no reason. But it also could have been like a reason for Ahsoka to be awakened after her defeat in battle with Skull. So this is a big thing, because after she got defeated by Baylan Skull, she landed in the water, and somehow she got magically teleported between worlds, I believe is what it's called. Let me double check that. World between worlds, correct. So this is a point in time in space where time is irrelevant. Kane the Conqueror, little hints, but so this world was introduced in Rebels. Ezra used this before. Ezra was able to save Ahsoka during the time she met Anakin as Vader. So at this point, Ahsoka knows that Anakin is Vader, but that's neither here or there. So this world has been introduced before in the animation series, during Rebels. So she gets traveled to this world, this dimension, world between worlds. She meets her master, Anakin Skywalker, before he had turned to the dark side of the Force. Big thing. I mean, come on.
Deep.
It's so deep. And the first thing you hear, because I felt this, like, dude, I ain't gonna lie to you, not even the nerd inside of me, dude, I popped a tear, bro. When I saw Anakin like greet his Padawan, and you heard that voice, yo, dude, I cried, bro. I was like, yo, no, they didn't, bro. No, they didn't. The fan of me came out. I was like, no, they got both of them to show up, bro. Like, damn. And they had a lightsaber duel.
Let's get into that, actually. So that's supposed to be like a what was what's the story behind this lightsaber duel and this whole thing about her going? It kind of like had like an Uncle Scrooge type of vibe to it, where you see your past, your present, and your future.
Correct. At this time, Ahsoka is questioning her Jedi ways. She doesn't know whether she is a hero or a villain. She's questioning. She doesn't know what she's really doing or what she wants. She just knows that she wants to save her friends But in order to save her friends, she has to save the galaxy. And I feel like at this point, she's selfish. She lost her way. She needs to find something to guide her through her journey because she has nothing to fight for. So when she meets Anakin in the world between worlds, Anakin guides her through why she became a Jedi in the first place. It wasn't just to become a Jedi. It wasn't to become someone who was able to master the Force and wield a lightsaber. Because it's like he said in on that episode, just because you wield a lightsaber does not make you a Jedi. It's what you do with the abilities is what makes you a Jedi. So she needed some type of motivation to get back out there and fight. I felt like she was like they hinted to it to Baylan Skoll hinted it to her too before their battle on that planet when they got the GPS coordinates where Thrawn was located at. He called her a Ronin. Ronin, for people who don't know what a Ronin is, a Japanese word for a samurai who has lost his purpose, which is what a Jedi is. It is a samurai who has lost their way. They have no master. They have no guidance. They have no mission, no journey, no like, how do I say this? Apparition or motivation to do anything. They're lost. So they need something to guide them. So I feel like the Force, everybody has their own interpretations of this. The way I saw it was that the Force talked to her. I don't think that was really Anakin. I felt that was the Force talking to her in the form of Anakin. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, Anakin did a lot of messed up stuff, dude. He was fucked up in the head. I mean, I just can't see him really being like redeemed at the end after all that genocide he created and all the death that he caused as Vader.
I could see it because at the end of Return of the Jedi, he was the one that was sitting next to Yoda and was that was Obi-Wan?
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Yoda. But I mean,
Yeah,
come on, be honest. None of them did what he did, though. I mean, he murked. I mean, I don't want to say it out loud, but I mean, he murked young Jedi's, bro. Like you can't redeem yourself after that. To me, that's a no. I'm sorry, but it's neither here or there. I'm not here to judge, but whatever. That's the way the story goes. So he goes and helps her to motivate her to find her way in the Force again, and she finds it. He trains her from the beginning because technically she never really graduated. Like her master, she never technically graduated in the Jedi Academy. She was never granted title of a Jedi. So this was her way of like a cheat code, like instead of having a high school diploma, you have what's it called, a GED.
A GED.
But in the Jedi Order, nicely put. You know what I'm saying? She got a GED, and Anakin had to be like, "Well, you lost your way. Let's make this. Let's go back to the beginning. I can't give you a high school diploma, but I can give you a GED. It's about the same thing, but the best I could do for you. Take it or leave it." She's like, "Okay, cool." But it was cool that you get to see them reunite. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They go back all the way to the beginning. Do the Clone Wars. You see her. Then she goes out of the Clone Wars. She goes her separate ways, and she's lost. And then Anakin was like, "You were never lost. You just needed someone to help guide you there," which was deep, bro. That was deep. Master to apprentice, bro. That was deep.
Okay. I'm starting to get some understanding here.
So Jason ends up being Force sensitive, really Force sensitive, that he wasn't able to see Ahsoka. He was able to hear and feel and listen to Ahsoka going through her trials and errors with Anakin. That's how he was able to point out where she was at. Because technically she was still in the bottom of the ocean. So to be honest with you, maybe it was just in her head. But it was a nice illustration though, is what I'm saying. And goddamn Dave Filoni, I gotta give you props again, yo, dude. If you're hearing this, yo, dude, you are a beast. I'm glad you directed that episode and written this show, yo. You are a freaking beast, bro. You are a freaking beast. Thank you for oh my god, thank you for that. We needed that. We need someone like you. Please stay on board. Please run Star Wars, please. We need this. We really do.
Okay. I wanted to clarify a couple things as far as like the ending of the season. As far as General Thrawn getting away and Ezra's able to escape from General Thrawn's ship to be able to meet Hera on her ship. And then it ends with Ahsoka and Sabine still stranded. Well, they're not stranded, but they're just enjoying themselves on the planet. Even though the main objective was to prevent Thrawn from getting off that planet.
Correct.
So I guess now it's like, what are our expectations for season 2?
It's to stop Thrawn, but at the same time, how do we get Ahsoka and Sabine out of that planet? And what exactly is in that planet too? Because we need to talk about that too. Baylan found something in there, and I guess it's the old teachings of the Jedi. There's secrets I guess they have never like released to the public or to many Jedis. I mean, there's so much potential going on, but the main focus is that Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck on the planet where they saved what's his name again? I
Ezra.
forgot. Ezra. They go all the way this far to go save Ezra just to be stranded, the two of them, and they release Thrawn to the galaxy, which causes another war. So millions are probably gonna die. So what I see is that they're gonna find a way to get out. They could use the space whales like the way they got in.
Can I just say the space whales thing was kind of like ridiculous,
cheesy?
I'm just saying, like, yeah, all right. So Sabine gets captured by Baylan, right? And Ahsoka's at the bottom of the ocean. Comes out and just like starts using Batman detective mode, but her little version as far as using the Force. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here, right? And then somehow she comes up with the bright idea. You know what? I'm gonna try something crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and fly my ship in this whale's mouth. Not to mention this whale is ugly as shit and it scares the shit out of me. Let's not mention that part. And we're just gonna go ahead and just ride this motherfucker into wherever it goes, it goes. Not to mention, it could possibly swallow me and eat me. Right in his mouth.
I don't know how to explain this, but I mean, they're in the novels. The way they presented was a little cringy and weird, but I also felt like that was lazy writing. Because if there was a way to find out where Grand Emperor Thrawn was located through a freaking device, wouldn't you think there would be another way to get it? Like,
through this one freaking map that you had a hard time unlocking, and then you just fly into the whale's mouth. Did the whale see the coordinates before they destroyed the map?
No, they have the ability to travel hyperspace by themselves without a ship, which is hard to do if you don't have a coordinate.
How the hell does a whale have technology on it's like a whale / squid.
They're like a godlike creature, brother. You just have to accept this is the reality of Star Wars. We
don't question that, but it's a whale.
We just accept it.
It's a whale that has like a jellyfish ass.
I'm not even looking at that, bro. Okay. My only thing is that, remember when we go back after she had just got beaten by Baylan Skoll, right? And she was able to use the Force to rewind time back and be able to look at like the land, the scope of the land. It's like having a camera and rewinding time, like a security camera, right? You're telling me that you could, as a Master Jedi, you can rewind time back and then be able to remember everything that happened, even though you didn't see it. Because this is a major plot hole that most people don't talk about. If you can go back with your Force energy, rewind time, see everything that was around you, even though you didn't glance at that moment, why couldn't you see the coordinates when Morgan activated the GPS system? I'm going to call it a GPS because it's a ball. I don't want to call it a ball. It's basically like a GPS system, a chiplo, like like a device you can
A
find where like a Bluetooth
firewall.
device, like a
A
Bluetooth
firewall.
device, like Find My Keys or Find My iPhone type thing. And you're sitting there like, if you could see that, why couldn't you use that to find Thrawn? But you use the space whales. But in the end of Rebels, they use the space whales to exile Thrawn. So I guess it works out. I don't know. It hurts my head thinking about it. I just feel like, to be honest with you, that was just lazy writing, bro. Like they could. I mean, I don't know. There was so many ways they could have changed that. I don't know, but it's just me. I don't even know. It's mind boggling. Yes, you got eaten by a whale, and you're sitting there like, I don't even know if they're going to take me in the right spot. Like, how do you like the chances of that happening is 1 in a million, bro? Like the fact that they even made it out of 1 of a million is beyond me. You're either one lucky motherfucker, or you're really fucking blessed with the
It
Force.
took him right to the planet.
Yeah,
Right to the
right to the
freaking
planet.
planet.
Like a millisecond, it took you like, oh, we're here. How do we know we're here? There's only one way to find out. Get out of the whale's mouth and hope to God we're there. Because you could have landed in the middle of nowhere. Miles, well, not even miles, light years away from a planet that has like gas and food and and a way to survive. With air, breathable air. Like, I don't know. That to me, that's too easy, bro. That's too easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was just like, is there like some significance to these whales? Because when we first got to the planet, we looked at the whales, scared the shit out of me, but they're over here like they were looking like they want to pet it like it's a freaking puppy. And I'm just like, yeah, not me. So then they land, and then that's how they leave. They see the exact same whales, like they're birds flying south or something. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, but
So that
it is what
that
it is, bro. I don't even want to
I'm
touch
gonna
that.
leave it alone. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's
leave it
leave it
alone. All
alone.
right, I'm gonna leave it alone. I just
Yeah.
felt like that was probably my biggest issue with this whole show was that particular scene where we just fly in the mouth and then we just wherever it takes us, it takes us.
Hey, it is what it is, bro. But let's talk about something that's more interesting than that. Let's talk about the lightsaber duels, bro. This is what we came here for. This is what we came to talk about. Let's talk about the fight sequences because that's what we all want. That's all we want. We want to see the lightsaber duels. We want to see action.
Before we get into that, can I ask a question about
What's
Ahsoka?
up?
Like her able to wield a double lightsaber, is that like a skill that it's rare between in Jedi's, or is that just a I don't know or show?
It is a form of how do I say this? It is a form of like not flattering, but a form of showing off. But it is also a skilled form. Like not many people could do it.
It's a defense form,
Yes,
right?
correct.
It's like I'm over here answering my own damn question. It's a
It's a defense form. It's you have one. Okay, so you have the hand you use to write or whatever you want, or your hand that you use a lightsaber that you're most skilled with, right? On the other hand, you have one long saber. You turn backwards, turning away from you. Then you have a small lightsaber,
they call that a kodachi.
Kodachi. Correct. No, wow, you learn your shit. Okay, so there's it is a technique of defense, but also attack. But it's mostly a defensive technique. It relies on your
The
opponent.
kodachi is the counter sword, and the
Yes,
long one is the
it's
offensive
the
sword.
offensive sword. Yeah, the short is the defense, and then the long is to attack. Correct. But in order to pull this skill off, you have to be like highly gifted and skilled and trained in that form. Hence, it is a form of Obi-Wan and Anakin born together. Hence, why she wields a double lightsaber.
So Obi-Wan has a small lightsaber.
I want to say short, but it's not as long as most average Jedi's though. That's why his defense is perfect. He is a close combat person. He keeps his distance, but he does, in order for him to attack, he needs to be close distance.
Right.
That's why he steps his. So as a samurai, his defense is that he needs you to attack him. He needs to see the attack in order to counteract it. So he needs to, basically what he does is he gets you to get emotional, counter it, and then see to find an opening in order to attack you. Hence why Obi, he's a defensive fighter, but also why he is good at fighting, because he's a shit talker.
Okay.
Think about it. All his fights, what does he do? He doesn't talk like a lot, but he is a shit talker though. He's a shit talker, bruh. He talks his shit. Go back to all the episodes. Even go back to Rebels. All his fights, he's a shit talker. Episode 1, Darth Maul. He told him he was going to parry him. He just didn't know how he was going to do it. Because Darth Maul was an offensive fighter. Qui-Gon Jinn was an offensive fighter. But Darth Maul was a better skilled fighter than Qui-Gon. But it's also age differences.
Who did he fight? Obi-Wan fight in episode 2? He fought Count Dooku.
And General
Grievous was 3. Grievous was 3.
I'm thinking Grievous. So it was Dooku and somebody else.
He fought the bounty hunter.
Boba Fett.
Yep. So he only fought 2 people in that movie. So
Boba Fett, I wouldn't consider it a challenge. Count Dooku was different though.
Count Dooku dogged him.
He did, but he didn't. I wouldn't consider it a tie, but it wasn't like
it
wasn't that big of a loss.
He dogged him. He was on the ground like this. He dogged him.
I don't know. Like, okay, I'll give you that. But Anakin did dog him though, and guess who dogged Anakin? His master.
He had to wait. Okay, so we getting so fucking off topic right now, but he had to wait. How many years after episode 2 did we get to episode 3?
A few years. I can't remember exactly. I want to say like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Count Dooku dogged him in episode 2. Dogged him. Cut his hand off. Dogged him.
He beheaded Count Dooku. It's neither here or there, but bruh.
That was round 2. So Count Dooku, arm slit, force power, hit the floor. Here come Yoda to save your ass.
Okay, you want to talk about like
cutting
it? You talk about cutting it close though. Come on,
and he knocked him out. He lost.
He didn't lose the battle though. He didn't lose the battle. If Anakin really wanted to, he was going to kill him.
If Yoda didn't come, he was going to lose the battle.
I don't know, bro. I just don't see it. Anakin was an emotional fighter, bro. He was pretty good at offense, bro. Yes, he was an emotional fighter, but he would have dogged Count Dooku, and he proved it.
Oh yeah, there was a reel on YouTube that I watched of Anakin Skywalker versus Count Dooku, where he did that little lightsaber flip thing, and he cut his hands off.
Yeah,
and then he tried to reattempt that jump on Obi-Wan in the final battle jump, but Obi was like, "Nope, not today, Anakin, not today."
So like, not to get side story, but like get sidetracked. Dog, Anakin was ready to murk Count Dooku, dog. Like to be honest with you, like he really just did. And dog, if he really wanted to, he didn't need Sidious to tell him, finish him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he could have just been like, done. But he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do that. So, right. I don't know. Like, I just feel like Count Dooku wasn't even like a close call with Anakin. But let's go back to Obi though. How many times has Obi dogged Anakin? And what was he saying to him? Okay, let's go back to Obi-Wan. That opening sequence. He was telling him, "You're not ready yet." What Anakin said, "Master, I'm ready." He kept telling him, "You're open." He would parry him. "Oh, don't turn around. It's like you're open to your opponent. He was getting him emotional, bruh. Obi is a shit talker.
That's why I love Obi-Wan so much. I knew there was something I loved about
See,
Obi-Wan, and you just
Obi's a
confirmed it for
G.
me.
Obi's a G. The Obi-Wan was trained by Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was the shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he got dogged by Darth Maul, but dog, come on, that fight sequence though, that episode 1 when it was just 1-on-1, Darth Maul versus Obi.
Oh yeah, when the shield broke and after Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon. Oh yeah, Obi was on it. Obi
Yeah,
was on it.
dog. What did he do? He went for the opening. I forgot what he said to him. He parried his shit and he was like, "Phew," and split half his body off, bro. That's the most major disrespect shit I've ever seen in my life. Dog, not only did he slice him in half, he made him handicap, bro. And he lived through that shit, bro. Like, that's major disrespect, bro. Obi was like, "You're not even on my level." Bro, he didn't even have to say that. He just looked at him and was like, put his saber away. And he was like, weak. And dog, he walked away from that. And as he's falling down that hole, like, dog, he walked away like he was a G. He was like, I don't even know why I had trouble with you. Bro, major disrespect, bro. Major disrespect. So to go back to, like, the whole Anakin was the shit too. This is a guy, this is like a recurring thing with samurai things. There's always a master, there's always an apprentice, but there's always a apprentice who is ahead of his time, who's gifted, who's well enough to be a master himself, but he's never graduated, but he's up there. But the problem with these apprentices are, through these storylines, besides the whole the whole Star Wars thing, the daddy issue, is they're emotional. That's all it is. You let your emotion get to you, it's an opening. That's what Obi used to tell him, bro. Like, you're emotional, dude. Stop being emotional. You don't have a daddy. Your mommy's gone. Let it go. You can't have a broad, dude. You can't get no bitches. Like, stop it. This is what you signed up for. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but as a dude, I don't think I could sign up for that. If you told me years later after I'm set as a Jedi, one last thing, you gotta be celibate. You can't have no bitches. Why didn't you tell me this in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? I would be mad, bro. I would be mad too. What do you mean I can't get any girls? I can't have sex? Nah, you gotta stay from sex, bro. You can't even get married. But I trained my whole life for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I deserve something, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, can I at least get a wife, you know? But that's the best part about the Jedi, though. That's like some I'm trying to think. I couldn't do it, but like, I don't know what, like, I don't want to bring religion into it, but it sounds like a religious cult. It's like a police academy, but with a religious cult. You just can't have sex, but you can smoke a cigarette and drink, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least here in the United States, you may not be able to smoke, but you're not even technically drinking until you're 21. But at least you could do it. But I don't know. It's just, I just got off topic, but I'm sorry. Shit like that, I'm only trying to say, I can relate with Anakin, bro. Like, Anakin didn't know who he was getting himself into until they were about to anoint him. And then what's his name? Mace Windu was like, I don't trust him. But the prophecy.
I have to say that's a typical black answer. I don't trust him.
No, but hey, let's be honest. Let's be honest. The way that things turned out, wasn't he right?
He was right.
He was right. Who was wrong?
Yoda.
And Qui-Gon Jinn was wrong.
Right.
But you know who could have helped the whole fucking entire thing, which nobody really wants to talk about, which still makes me mad to this day? Because technically, his only daddy was Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan didn't want nothing to do with him. So, like, think about it. It's kind of like having a dad, a stepdad who didn't want nothing to do with you, but your mom left you, and there's nothing you could do. And he's like, I don't even want to raise you, boy. Like, I don't even want to be here with you. And nobody, if Obi-Wan actually like dedicated 100% of his time to Anakin and actually put what his master really taught him, Anakin would have never changed.
You think
Anakin
so?
would have never. I think so,
I feel
dude.
like Obi-Wan did a phenomenal job with Anakin.
No, he did. No, what?
From what I saw in these movies, I feel like he did a phenomenal job. Yeah, there have been there's some time jumps where I may be missing it because you probably read like 1,000 comic books from the time of episode 1 to episode 3. But from what I've seen in the movies, I feel like he did an excellent job. Anakin, patience. Use the Force.
Yes, he. Yeah, I give. Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, he did. He did do that, but how many times was he spoiling Anakin, bruh? Every time he disciplined him, he basically gave him a cookie for everything he did wrong. You are what the prophecy says you are, Anakin. You are the one. You are the chosen one. You're the one who's going to save the Jedi Order. You're the one who's going to beat the Sith, not destroy us. And then the whole scene in episode 3. Then on I forget the name of the planet. He got the high ground.
Lava World. That's what I'm calling it, Lava World.
He's on the high ground. And he's sitting there crying, you were supposed to stop the Sith, not join them. And he's like, I have the high ground. It's over, Anakin. Anakin's like, I am the chosen one, and I am the shit. And what the fuck does he do? Jump. I'm sorry. If that's not spoiled, if that's not being spoiled, then I don't know what is, bro. I'm sorry. That sounds like you were spoiled from day one, bro.
He was a little arrogant. He was arrogant. How about that?
That comes from arrogance. Comes from being spoiled too. How many of these motherfuckers were kissing his ass? It started with Qui-Gon, but it was a recurring theme through most of the Jedi Order. Yoda is responsible for that shit too, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not holding back on these motherfuckers. Y'all spoiled a kid who had no guidance, and then you give a guy who didn't want to guide him, and then you want to know why he has daddy issues. It's like a big brother taking over for your dad, but your dad is gone. But your big brother don't want nothing to do with you because he don't even know how to raise you because he wasn't raised by his daddy. And then when you tell him not to do something, he does the complete opposite. And you sitting there like, dude, I just told you not to do that shit. And you were like, well, I mean, I did it. I mean, nobody knows, right? Yeah. Well, let's keep it that way. Good job. High five, buddy. You're still the shit. You know? Like, just keep it between us, all right? And what all cities had to do was go in there and be like, they're not treating you right. They're treating you wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be mad and angry. I can teach you better than that. I can save you and your wife. And of course, what does he do? I like this guy. He can help me. And then he turns into the dark side. And then we have the movies. And what does he do? And then it starts the recurring circle all over again. Luke Skywalker has an uncle and aunt, but he doesn't have a daddy. But he had a strong male figure in his life. And then here comes Obi-Wan. Like, what did he do? He came from nothing. Obi came in there like, you're the chosen one. You're here to stop your father. But I don't even know who my father is. Of course, what does he do? Daddy, I didn't even know you were alive. He's like, you are my son. And then he cuts his head off. And it tells him, I am your father. Dude, like, that would scar any child, bro. I'm sorry. That would scar anybody, bro. And then you want to save your daddy, and it's too late to save your daddy. Your daddy's too far gone, bro. Oh, I have to kill him. And then he ends up dying on his own, saving you because your dumbass got emotional and let Sidious electrocute you ass. Ah! I'm sorry, dude. It's cringy, but it added to the story. They all have daddy issues, bro. All of them started with daddy issues.
Oh boy,
it's wild, bro.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this lightsaber conversation. Best lightsaber battle throughout this Ahsoka season.
I would have to say the best fighting scene for me was Ahsoka versus Skull, Barrel and Skull.
Which one?
There was only one. Oh no,
There's
no, no!
two?
I'm sorry, there was two. The first one.
I was gonna say the second one.
What? The second one was alright.
The build up to it was so badass. Where she was in the ship and she was like, "What's the robot's name? Huang?
Babaliso, hold up. Let me see.
Huyang.
Huyang.
Drop me off." She jumps out the ship like an action hero, like 007 or some shit, right?
The superhero landing.
Yeah, lands on her feet, right in front of homeboy. Lands right in front of Balin, and then all right, round two, and she didn't even. She wasn't even expecting to win. She just really wanted to take his little dragon horse. But the fight scene was just the build up at first, and then the fight scene after that, because there was like a move they did where they like kind of like did like a tango type of move. I don't know, where their backs were turned. That joint was dope.
The only thing with that second round or battle, you want to call it, was that you had Ezra and Sabine fighting Haiti, and they were getting dogged. They were getting dogged, bro. Like, I mean, one's basically a Jedi,
I
and
wouldn't
Sabine
say
is not a Jedi.
Ezra wasn't getting dogged. Ezra kind of was handicapped.
Yeah, because he didn't have a saber, but
like he was stopping
like,
Hades.
Ahsoka had to stop.
Saber.
Ahsoka had to stop what she's doing to save those two. So I don't really see that as a battle. If Ahsoka has to save weaklings in order to continue the battle, that's not a battle to me. What I liked was in the first round when she was battling Baylan Skull, she also fought Haiti at the same time. Dog, she was holding her own, bruh. Even though she was getting beat. She held two mofos together, bruh. By herself.
I'm
You
about
gotta
to rewatch.
give it credit. You gotta give it
I
credit.
gotta watch
bro.
that fight scene again because I don't remember her fighting Balin and Haiti at the same time.
They were fighting, weren't they? In the beginning, and then she drove off to go fight Sabine. Because Sabine was already there. Did she pull the lightsaber?
Sabine got there second.
No, she saw the GPS.
Okay.
Yeah, she saw Ahsoka get killed.
Sabine got there so Sabine got there first, and then Haiti came there last.
No, Haiti and Baylan Skull was already there when they were watching the GPS. Ahsoka got there last. Ahsoka was like, give me the coordinates, and they were like, nah, you're looking for it. So they destroyed the GPS. Morgan drives off. Then Sabine and Ahsoka team up together. And then they get their asses beat. But Haiti ends up like disarming Sabine. So it was Ahsoka versus Baylan Skull in Haiti. She ends up beating Haiti. Then Baylan counters her, and then it's over. And then he tells her that he knows that she's Anakin's Padawan. And she's like, how do you know that name? He said, because everybody knows that Anakin is Vader for those who are actually Master Jedis. He said the fact that you even were blessed with the opportunity to be his Padawan shows through your magnificent skills. And then he throws her into the water. That was pretty crazy. I did like the fight that she had with Morgan, but I felt Morgan was weaker in this battle than she was in Mandalorian. Even though she got a power up. Because she got help with Sabine and what's his name?
Sabine and Ezra.
Ezra. I just didn't feel that battle like that, bro. Even though she got a power up and a new weapon, I didn't feel it. I felt it was too fast. It was too easy.
Oh, what the and when the sisters gave her that resurrected weapon, conjured that weapon.
Yeah, I felt it was too easy. It was 3 against 1.
It was a little rushed.
It was rushed, but I felt it was cheap. Ahsoka should have just took it on her own. She should have just been like, "Nah, I got this. Step back. I got this shit."
I
Step back. I got this shit.
I feel like they were literally trying to expedite the last.
I mean, she
Look
did
at
kill her
the
on her
last
own.
two episodes. The last two episodes, they really was expediting it a little bit too much.
She did kill her on her own, but I just felt like it didn't need to be a 3-against-1 fight. Ahsoka could have carried his own. She's already beaten her before. She just got a power up. So did Ahsoka. She got a power up. She met her master. She graduated. She's a master Jedi now. She doesn't need help. She's good. I'm good. I got this. Like, get the hell out of here. I'm gonna kill her like I'm gonna murk her like I murked her last time. This time I'm gonna make sure she ain't getting back up. I mean, she did do that. I just didn't feel that fight though.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, this is how we're gonna close this thing. Give me your Jedi name and the color crystal of your lightsaber.
Damn. I don't know what kind of name I would go to. What kind of name would I call myself? Okay, I'll give you. I always did like the red saber, dude. I always thought that was unique. Even though it's the dark side, I love it. I do, because my favorite color is red and black, so I love red. If I were to be a Jedi, another color that I would choose, I'm sorry, I gotta give it to Mace Windu, dude. The color purple went hard.
It was like a pinkish purple color.
That shit went hard because he was the only Jedi that wielded that saber, that crystal saber. That shit went hard. I would choose that color. And if I were to go through a Jedi name, I would stick with my name, Smokey. I'll stick with it.
Damn, way more alike on this topic than I thought, because I sure am going to go with that Mace Windu saber, because the closest one to red, but I don't want to be on the Sith side, so yeah. But it's going to stay at Devore, though. Lord Devore. That sounds scary as shit, yo. Can you imagine hearing that name throughout the Clone Wars, slam motherfuckers, yo? Like,
yo, that'd be tight. That'd be tight. I ain't gonna lie to you. That'd be tight.
Like that would literally be like, that dude's bad. Like, damn, yo, let me be a freaking Jedi in the Clone War. I'll be bad.
Especially with the sabers that the Grand Inquisitors got, the little circle one that just be like a double lightsaber and it just.
I feel like that's cheating because it spins on its own. That's kind of cheating.
But you can split it apart and make it a double lightsaber, bro. That's tight. And then you can fuse it together into an actual staff, bro. That's tight, bro.
Give me the Darth Maul joke. I want the Darth Maul joke.
That's what I'm talking about. It can turn into one, like to a staff. Before we end, let's do one last thing. Greatest lightsaber fight of all time. It doesn't even matter. Animation, movies, TV shows. What's your top fight?
It's definitely a tie between the Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fight. And
what else? That's it?
No, I'm thinking because I'm like I told you that I'm rewatching the Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 just for that sole purpose to see that fight again. Because the other choice I was going to say was episode 3, that fight. But also I really enjoyed that Count Dooku and Anakin Skywalker fight.
Obi and Anakin against Count Dooku. That was a good fight, bro. I'll give you something. I don't know if you ever watched it. Top 3 fights for me. The first will always be episode 3. Obi versus Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest fight scene of all time, bro. You can't. I don't think they'll ever top it. Maybe one day you will, but I don't see it happening. Second fight.
I need to watch the special features for that fight because I know they talked about it. I want to watch it again.
Second fight. Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi. That's my second. And my last, I don't know if you ever watched it. Darth Maul, his brother versus Sidious during the Clone Wars.
I didn't see that one. Nah, I didn't see that one.
I did like Sidious versus Yoda, But Sidious versus Darth Maul and his brother, I can't remember his name.
They dragged out the Sidious and Yoda one when he started throwing the I guess the diplomatic chairs in the stadium. That was a little much for me.
It's implied that they were both equally matched. A lot of fans are debated by this fight. I just don't see Yoda winning that fight. I'm sorry. Yes, he did get it in. It seemed like he was equal, but in the long haul, Sidious should have won that fight. Yoda got lucky. I'm sorry, Yoda got lucky. Because you know how much stamina you have to have for that kind of height, and how much force output you were putting into that fight? At some point, like halfway through the fight, Yoda was putting in a lot of barriers. He was using a lot of force energy, so he should have been wiped out with his energy. So which means they should have left him open. If the battle truly continued with no interference, with no way to have an exit to run away, I think Sidious would have won that fight. I think Sidious would have won. And he would have killed Yoda. But as you know, we didn't get that scenario.
I'm inclined to agree with that because my man Yoda walked in there on a freaking cane and put the cane away, and Lily was doing that flipping shit.
Hey,
so,
but that intro was tight though. When my man came out there, it took that staff and threw it out, and he was like, brought his lightsaber out, and he was like, let me show you why I'm the master.
I hear you have.
Yo, but that fight was raw, though. He came out there like a G. He was like, retirement I come out of. No? And then he like started fighting him. I was like, yo, hold on, wait, what? Like, damn. Like, this Yoda was like, you, bitch, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Yoda got that shit in, bro. Yoda got that shit in. I give him that. Hey,
he said, bitch, I'm not.
He said, bitch, I'm not. Yo, like, no bullshit, dog. He was a bitch, I'm not. He's like, sway. He's like, you can't get me, bro. Yo, Yoda was like that. But number 4, I give Obi versus Vader. Season 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end.
That was my time, but I'm gonna rewatch it again and see if it moves up the needle.
The reason why Obi-Wan is the fucking shit. Yo, when he finally got confidence back in him, he was like, I felt like he was like, yo, I'm the fucking master. The hell am I scared of my apprentice? He didn't even graduate from my goddamn school. He don't even got a certification. Get that. Dog, when he figured that shit out, he was like, get your bitch ass off me. He was like, I am a Jedi master. You were still a Padawan. Dog, when he took that rocks, he was like, force energy. And Vader's like, oh shit. And dog, he even called him master, bro. He got scared for a second after he threw that giant ass rock to him. And he was like, master? And he was like, get your dumb ass off me. Dog, when he parried he parried him. And then he was like, get up. And then he took his mask off and he looked at him. He was like, finish it. He said no. And then he walked away, dog. That's some ultimate G stuff, bro. That's some ultimate G stuff. Obi, yo, this is the reason why Obi cannot be touched, bro.
There was another Star Wars conversation I did want to get into, but we approaching that minute and the hour and 30. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call this one a pod. That's Ahsoka season 1. Looking forward to Ahsoka season 2. Well, I'm more looking forward to Kenobi season 2 if they decide they want to do a Kenobi season 2.
That'll be tight.
So we're gonna go ahead and call that.